you guys should be motivated as hell after watching this video, because this is reality.
Level. This is why.
Okay guys, we're gonna dive more into development again today, and this is probably one of the most important things you will ever see if you're a position player or a pitcher. If you're a parent of a baseball player, please show them this video, because this is exactly why most people never make it. This is why most players never get to that school they want to get to, never get to professional baseball, etc., because they don't trust that the work they're putting in is going to give them the results. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite graphs I've ever seen, and it is so accurate, especially when applied to the sport of baseball. And we're going to get right into it in a second, guys. Remember, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, it helps us out in the algorithm. If you're looking for help in recruiting, scan the Get Recruited QR code. Again, if you're just looking for some questions to be answered about the process, maybe a little bit early in the process as a young kid, middle school maybe, scan that hourly recruiting QR code. And again, if you are looking for an ARM program that I used in my career to go from throwing 78 from the outfield to 90, more accurate, more durable, no arm soreness, scan the ARM program QR code. But let's get right into the graph. And this is the graph called the Plateau of Latent Potential. So you can see on the y-axis we have results, on the x-axis we have time. I'm going to draw this for you guys, and we're going to talk through it as we continue to fill it out. So right here, that's going to be what you think should happen, right? This is what you think should happen in development, meaning this. When you're putting in work, right? You're putting in time and effort in your workouts, in your arm strength, when you're pitching, trying to gain velocity, hitting, you're developing your swing. A lot of you guys at home, parents as well, think that, well, he's putting in the work, why aren't we seeing results? This is what you think should happen. Now, this next line I'm about to draw is actually how development happens. And this, if you've been in baseball development at all, as soon as you see this graph, you're gonna be like, that's 100% right. So let's see what actually happens in development. Right. What you're noticing here is something that gets close and closer and closer to an exponential curve. So basically, what you guys think should be happening is that I'm putting in all this effort, I should see immediate results. If you've worked with me in the past or worked with me at all, you understand that one thing I always tell guys is, especially in baseball development, is like, you will not see results sometime for months, sometimes for 6 months. And a lot of my clients, I can name a few, like a Matthew Shorey, who's now pitching at Vanderbilt, or a Dixon Adams, who's now going to be pitching at Georgia Southern next spring. These were guys who their sophomore years of, and even really their junior fall, were throwing like 80, 82. And by the time they got to the summer of their junior year, they're throwing in the high 80s, touching low 90s. Right? Because they trusted that the work they were putting in was eventually going to show up. What happens with most of you guys is you get stuck somewhere in this area, which is called the Valley of Disappointment. Right, so you're putting in all this work, and you barely see any results. Like, most of you guys don't even get to this point right here where you start seeing a little bit of results, right? And I can promise you with hitters, I see this all the time, is you tell them to start moving differently. Hey, we're going to change something with your swing a little bit. And as soon as they experience the slightest bit of discomfort and failure, they will retreat back to what they were doing, because that's comfortable. I hit better like this. No, you don't. You're not being told to make a change because we think, oh, we're going to change him so he hits worse. right? There's a lot of hitters that I've worked with where you say, hey, I want you to start doing this. Now, I don't like that. It doesn't really feel good. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Development and change is never going to make you feel comfortable. You are going to feel weird. It is not going to feel comfortable for a probably decent amount of time. It's a new thing for you. Get this through your head, guys. Development, true development, is not comfortable. If you are actually developing, it is not going to feel good because that means you are challenging yourself to be better. The only way you get better is through difficulty, challenging yourself, hardship. Everyone knows that. But for some reason, when it applies to you, you think you're going to be the outlier that you don't have to go through that discomfort. So most of you guys don't even get to the point of what actually happens in development where you start seeing it. You know what separates guys from like average major league players and like a Mike Trout or a Bryce Harper or a Mookie Betts is they get to, they stop at about right here, right? Well, I've probably plateaued. I've seen some development. I've gotten better, but maybe I shouldn't, I don't need to work any harder. I'm seeing results. Guys like Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, all those guys, Paul Skeens, they just keep going. And eventually they get to the point where they're just so much better than the guys around them, the game looks easy, right? If you are going to reach your full potential, you have to push past the valley of disappointment. And the funny thing is this, you guys expect development to look like this, but to be honest, you're eventually going to get to a point that's way higher than what you think you could. What this means is that most of you guys think, okay, I have a ceiling, and you guys have heard me talk about this all the time, that I don't believe in ceilings. A lot of you guys put this ceiling on top of yourself, and you think, well, if I could only reach that ceiling. What the plateau of latent potential tells you is that most of you guys think you can get to right here, when in reality, you can get so much better. You can be a so much better player. And remember, this is time. This is the amount of time it takes, right? Relatively speaking. This is the results. The higher the line, the better the results, the better overall player you can become. Now, what does this tell us? The guys that grind, the guys that put the work in every single day, whether they want to or not, are the guys that get here. So what does that tell you about a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan or a Mike Trout or a Paul Skeens? They're just the hardest workers in the game. They haven't put a ceiling on themselves. They keep pushing themselves every day to see how far they can truly go. How good can they possibly get? That's the separator, guys. That's you guys, a lot of you guys at home think, well, they're just born with these genetics that I wasn't born with it. Is there some small truth to that? Maybe. Baseball in particular, it's a skill sport. It's about acquiring the necessary skills. You could put the most athletic guy in the world on a baseball field and hit him a rocket ground ball at shortstop. He's gonna jump out of the way. It's gonna hit off his chest. It's gonna hit him off his wrist. You put him in the batter's box, he ain't gonna make contact. Baseball, does athleticism make you a better baseball player? Sure. But hitting is a skill you can develop. Fielding is a skill you can develop. So a lot of you guys are thinking about this the wrong way. Get out there and take 200 ground balls a day. Get out there and hit in the cage every day. I told the guys I worked with yesterday, I said, the reason if you ask any scout that watched me play, they would say he was an 80 grade bunter. As funny as that is, as kind of a joke as that is, I probably in minor league baseball was the best base hit bunter while I was in minor league baseball. And that's because my dad, at a young age, said, hey, you're a speed guy. You got to be able to do this. So every time I went to the cage, I'd go 50 this side, 50 this side, 100 this side, 100 this side. And looking back, it's like, yeah, that's why I was really good. Because every day I put the work in. I put the work in on top of getting my swings in. I'm talking high school hitters who won't even think about base hit bunting when the third baseman's playing them in the outfield grass. Baseball is a sport where you acquire and develop skills. As soon as you guys understand that, you will recognize right away, holy cow, I can get way further than I thought. I can be a way better baseball player than I thought. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, guys. I think if you guys should be motivated as hell after watching this video, because this is reality. This is how guys become business superstars, basketball superstars, music superstars. They put in the work. They grind. They weren't born with this amazing gift. Some people are, right? There's plenty of guys out there singing that you've never heard about that have great voices that could be stars. They're not putting the work in. Same is true in baseball. Same is true in football and any other thing that you want to achieve in life. Put the work in. The results will come. It's not a question if they're going to come. They will come eventually as long as you stay the course, keep putting the work in. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm really curious what you guys think. Remember, development is not comfortable. It is not going to feel good while you're improving yourself as a player. All right? Well, stay tuned for another video tomorrow. Again, appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think about the Plateau of Latent Potential.